I stood outside the courthouse with nothing left but a thin envelope in my hand and the clothes I was wearing. Inside that envelope were the final papers confirming that my marriage and the life I had spent decades building was over. My ex-wife, Lauren, walked away with the house, most of our savings, and a quiet sense of victory. As we stepped out through the glass doors, she leaned in close. For a moment, I thought she might say something meaningful about the years we shared. Instead, she looked straight at me and whispered, "You were never enough." Then she turned and walked away beside Eric, my closest friend for over 30 years, without a single glance back. That night, I didn't go to the small apartment I had rented. I couldn't face the emptiness. Instead, I drove aimlessly until the city lights faded, eventually pulling into the back lot of a roadside diner. I leaned back in my truck seat, staring into the darkness, replaying every decision that had brought me here. Around midnight, my phone rang. It was an unknown number, and I almost ignored it, assuming it was another reminder of everything I had lost. But something made me answer. A calm voice introduced himself as Adrian Vogel from a private banking firm in Switzerland. He asked if I was related to Victor Hale, my long-disappeared uncle, and then told me I was the sole beneficiary of an account that had been untouched for 15 years. The balance, he said, was just over $48 million. My name is Marcus Hale. I'm 53 years old, and until recently, I believed my life was stable, even if it wasn't perfect. I had spent more than 3 decades working in construction, building everything from foundations to full homes with my own hands. I believed in hard work, loyalty, and family. I met Lauren when we were young, and we built our life from nothing, starting in a small apartment, sharing cheap meals, and dreaming about the future. Those early years were filled with teamwork and genuine happiness. Over time, my business grew, and I was finally able to give her what I thought was a dream, a large, beautiful home in a quiet neighborhood. But after we moved into that house, something shifted. Lauren began to change in ways I didn't fully understand at the time. She became more involved in social circles, charity events, and high-end gatherings that I never quite fit into. The simple life we once shared slowly faded. Conversations became shorter, and the warmth between us cooled. I told myself it was normal, that people grow and change, but the truth was we were drifting apart, and I refused to see how far she had already gone. Eric had always been part of our lives. He was like a brother to me. We had known each other since our early 20s, working side by side, supporting each other through life's highs and lows. I trusted him without question. Looking back, there were signs, late nights, shared glances, moments that didn't quite add up, but I ignored them. I didn't want to believe that the 2 people I trusted most could betray me. The truth revealed itself one ordinary Thursday. I came home early, hoping to surprise Lauren with her favorite dessert and maybe reconnect after months of distance. Eric's truck was in the driveway, which didn't seem unusual at first, but the house felt too quiet. Then I heard laughter from upstairs, her laughter. I walked up slowly, my chest tightening with every step. When I opened the bedroom door, everything became clear. They didn't panic or try to explain. They simply looked at me, as if I was the one out of place. I didn't yell or react. I just turned around and walked out, already knowing that nothing would ever be the same again. The divorce that followed was harsh and calculated. Lauren hired a powerful attorney who painted me as a distant, work-obsessed husband who had failed his marriage. Old business disputes were dragged into court, and my character was torn apart piece by piece. I tried to keep things civil, hoping we could end things quietly, but she wanted more. After months of legal battles, the court ruled largely in her favor. She got the house, most of the assets, and a future built on everything we had created together. I was left with what remained, and a deep sense of emptiness that I couldn't shake. Sitting in that diner parking lot, holding my phone after that unexpected call, I realized something strange. For the first time in years, I had nothing tying me down. No house, no marriage, no expectations, just me. The trip to Switzerland happened quickly. The city was calm, precise, and completely different from anything I was used to. At the bank, Adrian handed me a file filled with documents and letters written by my Uncle Victor. In those letters, he explained everything. He had been watching my life from a distance, waiting for the right moment. He didn't trust my marriage, and he had made it clear that the money would only be released once I was no longer tied to it. Reading his words was overwhelming. He believed in me in a way I didn't even believe in myself anymore. The money wasn't just an inheritance, it was a second chance. When everything was finalized and the funds were transferred, I didn't feel powerful or triumphant. I felt clear, like a weight I didn't know I was carrying had finally been lifted. I didn't return to my old life. Instead, I started over. I bought a modest house with open land, far from everything that reminded me of the past. I rebuilt it with my own hands, putting care into every detail. My daughter Lily visited often. She didn't ask for anything when she learned about the money. She only reminded me to stay true to who I was. That mattered more than anything else. Lauren called once after she found out. Her voice was softer, filled with regret. She spoke about mistakes and second chances, but I could hear the same underlying desire for what I now had. I listened quietly before telling her that I had already moved on, not just from the marriage, but from the person I used to be in it. I forgave her, but I didn't let her back into my life. Eric tried reaching out too, but I never responded. Some betrayals don't need closure. Walking away is enough. Over time, I found peace in simple things again. I spent my days building, helping others, and rediscovering the parts of myself that I had lost. I even started supporting men who were going through similar situations, those who had lost everything and didn't know how to begin again, because I understood that feeling better than anyone else. The money didn't fix my life. It didn't erase the betrayal or the pain, but it gave me something I hadn't realized I needed, a chance to start over on my own terms, and that made all the difference. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: losing everything doesn't mean the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of something more honest, more real. There's a part of you that no one can take away, no matter what happens. And if you can find that part again, you can rebuild anything.